Maury Island Incident. In the summer of 1947, off the coast of Maury Island in South Puget Sound, a man named Harold Dahl was out on his boat with his son, Christopher, their dog, and 2 workers. Harold collected logs floating in the sound and resold them to lumber mills. According to Dahl, on June 21 at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 6 unidentified flying objects appeared in the sky above his boat. One of the saucers then exploded and a metal substance started raining down from the sky, killing the family dog and burning Christopher's arm. They're so frightened that they take this 50-foot boat and they run it up on the beach, so that they can get off the boat and hide in the cliffs that are on the beach there on Maury Island, says Steve Edmiston. Steve made a short film about all of this with producing partner Scott Schaefer. It's called The Maury Island Incident. The sighting Harold Dahl, his son Charles, and 2 crew members were on Dahl's boat. The UFO's 6 large, donut-shaped objects with hollow centers appeared overhead. The attack 1 saucer struggled, spewed white, lava-like metal, slag, onto the boat, killing the dog and burning Charles's arm. Aftermath: Dahl ran his boat aground, the UFOs vanished. The Men in Black and aftermath. The warning: the next morning, a man in a black suit visited Dahl, warning him not to talk about the event, predating the famous Men in Black (MIB) concept. Investigation: Dahl reported the event to his employer, Fred Chrisman, leading to a significant U.S. Army Air Force's investigation, including the tragic crash of a B-25 bomber carrying investigators. The Ghost Rockets. The Ghost Rockets incident refers to a series of mass sightings of unidentified flying objects, UFOs, over Scandinavia, and later other European countries, primarily in 1946. The events were taken seriously by military authorities and remain a captivating historical mystery. Sightings peaked between May and December 1946, with over 2,000 reports submitted to the Swedish Defense Staff. While most were in Sweden, sightings were also reported in Finland, Norway, Denmark, Portugal, Belgium, and Greece. Witness descriptions: witnesses described rocket or torpedo-shaped objects with glowing or flaming tails, traveling at high speeds. The objects were reported to perform maneuvers inconsistent with natural phenomena or known aircraft, such as stopping, turning, and flying in formation. Evidence: approximately 200 sightings were verified with radar returns. Authorities also claimed to have recovered fragments, though these were officially identified as common coke or slag, or later as meteorite fragments. Crash sites: multiple witnesses reported objects crashing into lakes, prompting extensive military searches. Example: Lake Kamjarv on July 19, 1946, but no significant debris was ever recovered, leading to speculation about self-destruct mechanisms or easily disintegrating materials. The Green Fireballs. The Green Fireball incident isn't one single event but refers to a type of rare, bright green meteor seen globally. Like in the U.S. Great Lakes in 2025, New Zealand 2022, and even older historical sightings, caused by minerals like nickel or magnesium burning up in the atmosphere, creating vivid colors. These spectacular, often brief, celestial events generate public excitement and sometimes UFO speculation, but scientists identify them as natural space debris burning up, sometimes breaking apart with a sonic boom, leaving colorful trails as they disintegrate, like the recent one over the Great Lakes, which was a comet fragment. Sound can produce loud sonic booms as they break apart. Brightness extremely bright, often lighting up the sky like a flare. Duration brief, lasting seconds, with fiery trails. The green hue comes from specific elements vaporizing during entry, primarily nickel, green, and magnesium, blue-white. Notable recent incidents. Great Lakes, November 2025. A 100,000 miles per hour comet fragment, visible across several U.S. states, burned up over Lake Huron, confirmed by NASA as a small, fast-moving object. Louisiana, July 2023, a Ring camera captured a green fireball, sparking UFO rumors, but identified as a meteor. New Zealand and Lake Ontario, 2022, similar green fireballs were observed, with the Ontario event linked to the smallest asteroid ever recorded entering Earth's atmosphere. The Mantle UFO Incident. The Mantle UFO incident on January 7, 1948, involved Kentucky Air National Guard Captain Thomas Mantle, who died chasing a mysterious, large, metallic object over Franklin, Kentucky, becoming the first pilot to die pursuing a UFO, with official reports later attributing it to a secret Navy skyhook balloon, though sensational headlines and witness accounts fueled theories of an alien encounter and government cover-up, making it a pivotal, enduring UFO legend. Sighting on January 7, 1948, reports of a large, hovering, unidentified flying object came from the region around Godman Army Airfield, Fort Knox, Kentucky, noted for its size and metallic appearance. The Chase Mantle reported the object, describing it as huge and shiny with observation windows. He continued climbing steeply, ignoring warnings from other pilots to level off. The crash at around 20,000 to 25,000 feet, Mantle lost consciousness due to lack of oxygen. His P-51 lacked proper oxygen equipment for that altitude, and his plane spiraled down, crashing in a field near Franklin, Kentucky. Years later, Project Blue Book officially concluded that Mantle was likely chasing a Navy skyhook balloon, part of a then top-secret U.S. Navy cosmic ray research program. These large, metallic, high-altitude balloons could reach up to 600 feet in height and were consistent with eyewitness descriptions. Because the project was classified at the time, Mantle and the ground observers would have been unaware of what they were seeing, which added to the mystery and fueled early UFO theories. The Mantle incident was the first widely publicized case where a military pilot died pursuing a UFO, and it significantly impacted public perception, raising concerns that flying saucers might be real and potentially hostile. A historical marker was erected in Franklin, Kentucky, in 2001 to commemorate the tragic event. Trinity UFO Case. The Trinity UFO case is a controversial story that emerged in the early 2000s, alleging a non-human craft crashed in New Mexico in August 1945, a few weeks after the first atomic bomb test, the real Trinity event. The narrative claims the object and its occupants were recovered by the U.S. military 2 years before the more famous Roswell incident. The crash in mid-August 1945, the two boys, ages 7 and 9 at the time, were on a ranch near the Trinity test site when they saw a flash and discovered a crashed, avocado-shaped metallic object. The occupants they claimed to have seen, small humanoid creatures, later described as about 1.5 meters tall with pear-shaped heads, moving among the wreckage. The recovery and cover-up: the men claimed Padilla's father and a state police officer, Eddie Apodaca, were involved in the initial discovery. The military soon arrived, cordoned off the area, removed the debris, and warned the witnesses to remain silent, explaining the crash as a weather balloon incident. Jacques Vallée. The story remained largely unknown until it was published in the Mountain Mail of Socorro, New Mexico, in 2003, based on the men's claims. The incident was detailed in the 2021 self-published book Trinity, The Best Kept Secret by Jacques Vallée and Paula Harris, who argued for similarities between this case and the more famous Roswell incident and suggested the government was concealing proof of alien technology. UFO sighting: 1947 flying disc craze. In June 1947, pilot Kenneth Arnold's sighting of 9 fast-moving, crescent-shaped objects near Mount Rainier, Washington, sparked the flying saucer craze, leading to hundreds of similar reports and launching the modern UFO era. Arnold described their movement as like saucers skipping on water, a phrase misinterpreted by the press to mean the objects were saucer-shaped, coining the famous term. His credible account triggered a nationwide phenomenon, with many copycat sightings and a surge in UFO interest, though the craze subsided by July 1947, coinciding with the Roswell incident. Kenneth Arnold, a private pilot and businessman. 9 shiny, fast-moving objects in formation near Mount Rainier, Washington. How he saw them while flying his small plane, searching for a lost military aircraft. Description: he described their shape as crescent-like or boomerang-shaped and their motion as like saucers skipping on water, notes historylink.org. He estimated their speed at over 1,200 miles per hour. Media frenzy: when Arnold landed in Yakima, he described the incident to pilot friends, and reporters picked up the story. The saucer skipping analogy led to headlines calling them flying saucers or flying discs. National phenomenon: Arnold's credible testimony, he was seen as a reliable witness, ignited public imagination, leading to a massive wave of hundreds of copycat UFO sightings across the U.S. in June and July 1947.